recently I finally caved in, and I mean, it's absolutely superficial, but most people haven't figured it out. I finally decided to tell you guys, hey, dinosaurs and aliens? It's in the programming for a reason, because it doesn't reflect reality. It's why it's echoed. Another one is the flat earth and the globe theory. The reason I clicked record, and you might have already figured this much out, is because this has to do with Darwin. And I'll get to that in a second. Some of you might know because you digest the latest and the greatest propaganda. I'm talking about the programming on the box and the big screen. And there's a lot of it concerning this, but one in particular that was shit out recently, and it is rough to get through. If you're thinking for yourself. So, this is something that Darwin wrote, at least allegedly, having to do with, his theory of evolution. And I'll try to read this. It's kind of clunky, and I think part of it says etc., or etc., and I think it's etc., etc. Some of the words aren't spelled correctly. I don't know why. Maybe it's Old English, not to my recollection, but either way. Besides a general interest about the southern islands, I have now, ever since my return from Beagle Voyage, engaged in a very presumptuous work, and which I know no one individual who would, I think it's would, the WD, not say a very foolish one. I was so stuck with distribution of Galapagos, damn, I said it right, it's hard for me to say that word, organisms, etc., and with the character of the American fossil mammifers, etc., that I determined to collect blindly every sort of fact which could, I mean, it's a CD, I imagine, bear any way on what are species. I guess that's that. I have read heaps of agricultural and horticultural books and have never ceased collecting facts. At last, gleams of light have come, and I am almost convinced, quite contrary to opinions, no, quite contrary to opinion I started with, that species are not. And then it digresses into, it is like confessing a murder immutable. I mean, he absolutely misled the masses through and fucking through, and this is absolute pseudoscience if you try to connect the dots and use it as a tool that reflects reality, because it doesn't. Assume I'm wrong. And then this touches on his buddy, who he only knew for 2 weeks, as it reads. Joseph Dalton Hooker was one of the first people Darwin confided in regarding his heretical evolutionary views. He chose his friends well. They had only been corresponding for 2 months, pardon me, 2 months, not 2 weeks. But Hooker was to remain one of Darwin's staunchest allies for the rest of Darwin's life. If you want to look this up, you could use the keywords. This is this, that, and the other thing. And apparently there's a photo of Joseph Dalton Hooker. I'll show you this too. Good old Google. So here's claims and then in reality. According to Google, I didn't instruct it to disregard the Smith Modernization Act, and I'm not going to read these to you. This is when you take a screenshot and you read the words and consider the information. Are we being misled? Or is this what's what? I'm talking about the part where Google tells you the reality. I'm going to move along and you can take another screenshot. There's only 3 of these. Take a screenshot. Once again, the claim, the reality. Allegedly. And one more screenshot. Yeah. Good. Now let's move along. This was recently shut out. If any of you watch this, it is evolution propaganda through and fucking through. Like I said, it's rough to get through. It's a fucked up episode. The fact that they're pushing this on kids, young adults, people in general. Then again, I was recently called a boomer. My parents are boomers. Most kids today don't understand what a fucking boomer is. Having to do with baby boomers. But they rattle it off because they aren't very smart. As always, what do I know?